Luo Feng extended his hand to receive the 100 world rings. Such a large transaction usually meant free treasure hunting opportunities. Buying 10,000 bug corpses was 100 times more than the last time. Of course he would be able to treasure for free for 100 years. Freedom, it's better to treasure hunt in the Wu Long Starfield. Luo Feng smiled. Haha, connect to the virtual universe network. Emperor Long Ke said, I want to send the surveillance images to you. This level has to go through the virtual universe system's verification. Luo Feng nodded. The virtual universe system had many functions, witness, verification, etc. Like the Universe First Bank, Universe Galaxy Bank, Universe Mercenary Alliance, Battleaxe Dojo, they all had to rely on the virtual universe network. This made Luo Feng realize how powerful the virtual universe system was, but he still couldn't help but be shocked. After a while, Luo Feng received the authorization. The screen on his arm displayed the entire Wu Long Starfield surveillance images. Emperor Long Ke, I'll head in first to treasure hunt. Luo Feng smiled. Congratulations on acquiring the treasures. Emperor Long Ke said. Haha. Luo Feng laughed, becoming a beam of light and leaving the palace. Watching Luo Feng leave, Emperor Long Ke couldn't help but think. He's actually wasting time to go treasure hunt in the Trash Mountain? He's reached Sector Lord level? I think he's about to undergo life and death training. Before that, he wants to relax and go treasure hunt. Poor punk, I wonder if he'll be able to endure the life and death training. In history there were too many absolute geniuses that fell in life and death training. Without going through the training, one would never become a true warrior. Humanity knew this was dangerous, but they still let the Sector Lord geniuses go through life and death training. Wu Long Starfield, the entire Starfield was filled with countless corpses from the race wars. All sorts of corpses filled the space, of course they were still sorted out. The last time I searched for the carapace shard, the leader followed me, it was really troublesome. This time it's good. I'm alone free. Luo Feng sat in the universe ship, lowering his head to look at the surveillance star map on his arm. There are so many white dots on the map, they should be internal members. This red dot. And my coordinates are also red dots. Looks like it represents an outsider. Very quickly, Luo Feng understood the star map. Actually, the surveillance star map's secret authority wasn't high. One had to know that the internal members all had a copy. With Luo Feng's current authority, he could easily obtain it. Babata, stop here. Understood. The UNMO planet ship decelerated and stopped, returning to the original universe. In the Wu Long Starfield, a blood-colored triangular spaceship suddenly appeared at one of the docking points. Luo Feng flew out from the cabin door. Summon. Luo Feng felt the calling, turning to look into the distance. It's that direction, there's a shell shard there. With a flip of his hand, Luo Feng kept the UNMO planet ship and swiftly flew in that direction. His speed swiftly rose, very quickly reaching light speed, moving at about 280,000 kilometers per second. The speed of light was the speed limit of the primordial universe. After accelerating to the speed of light, one would be kicked into the dark universe and complete the universe travel. Undyings could all cross universes with their bodies. Almost all the sector lords were unable to do this. Even human sector lords could only reach a maximum speed of 150,000 kilometers per second. The main reason was that the sector lords' physique wasn't strong enough. Just relying on their physical body to accelerate as the speed increased, the burden on their bodies would increase. It was an exponential increase. The golden horned beast's body was extremely strong, it could use its body to travel through space. This was extremely rare. Even after training the nameless manual, LuoFeng's body quality was 3 times that of a normal sector lord pinnacle. He still couldn't reach the level of universe travel. However, Luo Feng had the armor. Back when he was a domain lord pinnacle, he couldn't unleash the armor's full strength. However, now he could. The armor could unleash 1,000 times sector lord pinnacle strength. During acceleration, the armor could withstand 90% of the load, allowing Luo Feng to easily reach 280,000 kilometers per second. If he could reach light speed, it wouldn't be hard. Haha, my luck isn't bad. This time I've already found 2 silver shell shards. Luo Feng was in a trash mountain, his face filled with glee. The last 2 years I only found 232 black shell shards, 12 silver shards and 1 broken blade. That's how I managed to gather 2 sets of armor. The armor was very mysterious. It had strong defense and could be infused with powerful strength. Also, it had a resistance against spirit energy attacks. However, a set of armor with 1,000 times sector lord pinnacle strength was not bad for the golden horned beast back then. However, after 1,200 years in primal chaos city, the current golden horned beast was even stronger. Just 1 set of armor alone didn't have much effect on its strength anymore. One had to know that just the golden horned beast's basic strength was 30 times that of a human's. Normal golden horned beasts were 10 times that of a human's, along with the nameless manual's 3 times ability amplification, a total of 30 times. Using the blood river energy to activate the right claw was 11 times. And deities of the world, 7.5 times, and the natural talent technique, 2 times. These 2 amplification methods allowed the body to amplify by 15 times. Calculating it all, it was 4,950 times sector lord strength. The reason why it was so ridiculous was actually because of the nameless manual and blood river energy. Without these 2, the golden horned beast would only be 150 times stronger than a human sector lord. It would be the strength of a normal pinnacle sector lord golden horned beast. The blood river energy and the nameless manual caused the golden horned beast's body's overall strength to explode. The armor's use became much smaller. Luo Feng was like a treasure-hunting mouse within the Wu Long Starfield, searching through the trash mountains for treasures. The difficulty of finding the silver shell shards was very high. At the start, the efficiency was still alright. However, as time went on, it began to drop. Along the way, he even managed to gather a few sets of armor. Obviously, the black shell shards were much easier to find. However, his main target this time was the silver shell shards. Luo Feng didn't give up at all. Actually, Luo Feng split a part of his consciousness to search for treasures. The golden horned beast and Masha clansmen continued to study the second level of the Mayan 7 transformations. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay. Dad. Luo Ping and Luo Hai shouted from outside. Luo Ping, Luo Hai, your dad has just returned and you don't let me gather with him alone. Su Xen said unhappily, come in. These 21 years, hasn't dad been coming back often? Luo Hai laughed loudly and took a big step in. Two young men walked in together. Although they had lived for more than 4,000 years, they did not look old at all. Among them, Luo Ping seemed to be more graceful. The entire Luo clan's affairs were mainly managed by him and he exercised the authority of the clan leader. This made Luo Ping appear to be very calm and naturally had a graceful and luxurious temperament. Luo Hai was the exact opposite. He was like a savage bandit, his entire eyes burning with battle intent. Two sons, two different personalities. Dad, will you still be in the Wu Long Starfield these 21 years? Luo Hai asked. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. It wasn't easy to gather a set of silver armor, and he hadn't even succeeded yet. What's more, his plan was to gather 2 sets. He had to stay in the Wu Long Starfield for a while. As the saying goes, sharpening one's knife won't delay the work of cutting wood. Only after completing all his plans would he be able to fully focus on exploring the outer region battlefield. After the Wu Long Starfield ends, you'll head to the outer region battlefield? Luo Hai couldn't help but ask, Dad, can you bring me along? I have a Sector Lord level plant life to help, it's very safe. You? Luo Feng shook his head, you're still far from it. Even though you have the plant life to help you, you're only a Domain Lord level 9. If you go to the outer region battlefield, you'll just be cannon fodder. If the other alien race's spirit attacks hit you, you'll lose your life. I'll have to be careful in the outer region battlefield too, I won't be able to split my attention to protect you. You should just focus on your training, adventuring within the human domain is fine, but don't think of going to the outer region battlefield for now. Wait till you reach the Sector Lord pinnacle and have strength comparable to an Undying. Ah. Luo Hai lowered his head and replied. Within the family, Luo Hai feared nothing and was tyrannical. However, he was most afraid of his father Luo Feng. Calm down. Luo Feng ordered, your resources, others can't even beg for them, you have to cherish them. Understood, Dad. Luo Hai replied. The Luo family was one of the few large families in the Gangwu universe country. Naturally they had to have some resources. Back then when Earth was the target of many knights, Luo Feng had left about 10 million mixed elements worth of Luo God water in the family during his trade with the Virtual Universe Company, to nurture the plant life. 10 million mixed elements of Luo God water was enough to nurture up to 100 Sector Lord level 9 plant life forms. And Luo Feng had plenty of Luo God water, this was just a drop in the ocean. Of course, the family was still weak now, without an Undying station there, Luo Feng didn't dare leave too many treasures in the family. However, the family base was on Earth, and Earth's safety was without a doubt. Luo Feng's face suddenly revealed a look of glee. What's up, Dad? Luo Hai asked excitedly. Dad. Luo Ping looked curiously at Luo Feng. Good thing. Luo Feng smiled. Wu Long Starfield within a trash mountain. How many years has it been? 21 years, I've collected a total of 1,985 black armor pieces, before finally collecting these 113 silver armor pieces. Luo Feng stood within the trash mountain, he had long forced the soldier armor pearl out of his body, the large amounts of silver armor pieces had long been absorbed into his body, it was already undergoing a special change. Absorb. Luo Feng had experienced this change before, he knew very well what it meant, a complete set of silver armor was gathered. Large amounts of silver liquid gathered within his body, it had already been gathered to the limit. Rumble. In an instant a huge change occurred. Luo Feng felt his entire body tremble, following which a mysterious rune appeared on his chest. This was a very faint silver rune, it was the Flame God race's word. Commander. Luo Feng looked down at the silver rune on his chest, softly muttering, Commander? Inspecting the Flame God race word, Luo Feng had many thoughts. The black armor before was the soldier armor, this one seemed to be the general armor. The general imprint followed Luo Feng's thoughts and disappeared under his skin. I'll feel the strength. Luo Feng thought. Rumble. Countless silver threads swiftly spread out with the general imprint as the core, almost as though it was infused into every inch of Luo Feng's muscles and skin, swiftly spreading throughout his entire body. Simultaneously, a flowing silver armor appeared on Luo Feng's skin, a pair of silver boots automatically appeared on his feet, a silver mask appeared on his face and a helmet appeared on his head. Chi. Luo Feng took a deep cold breath. He felt every part of his muscles and organs hurt, almost like they were about to be ripped apart. This general armor far exceeded the strength of the soldier armor. LuoFeng's activation had already pushed his body to its limit, causing incomparable pain. I can probably only use 1,200 times Sector Lord strength. Luo Feng made his judgment based on his senses. At his level, his judgment of strength was extremely precise. Ichim? When I use the soldier armor, I can easily use all of its strength. 1,000 times Sector Lord pinnacle strength. Luo Feng pondered. And according to the golden horned beast's usage of the soldier armor back then, a normal Sector Lord pinnacle should be able to use it. And I'm 3 times stronger than a normal Sector Lord pinnacle. However, I can only use 200 times more Sector Lord strength. Luo Feng understood a little. The further he went, the higher the requirements for his body constitution. Looks like my body is still too weak, using the soldier armor is just right. This general armor is too high-end for me. Luo Feng thought. Actually, he wasn't wrong. The soldier armor was the most basic armor, originally meant for Sector Lord pinnacle to use. And the general armor was for Undyings to use. Naturally, the requirements were much harsher. Soldier armor pearl. With a thought, Luo Feng forced the general armor out of his body and transformed it into a general armor pearl. This was a silver ball, smaller than the soldier armor pearl by a size. On the ball, there was a faint imprint of the word general. I'll let the golden horned beast test it out, its body constitution is much stronger than my earth body. Luo Feng thought. So, he directly kept the pearl into the dark red world ring. The Masha race's clone and core were hidden there. This dark red world ring was a world ring that Luo Feng specially ordered in Primal Chaos City. It was for safety reasons he specially ordered it, spending 18,000 points. Within the inner world on the vast prairie. Wu, the mountain-like golden horned beast raised its head and roared, its roar was filled with excitement. At the same time, a black armor pearl was forced out and fell on the grass. After which, it lowered its mountain-like head, looking at the little guy's general armor pearl on the ground. It extended its right claw and lightly touched the pearl. Immediately, with a chi-chi, the pearl turned into a silver liquid and entered the golden horned beast's body. In that instant, the golden horned beast's chest and abdomen scales faintly revealed a flame god word general, which then disappeared. General armor. Activate. The golden horned beast's eyes emitted a solid gold light, roaring softly. Rumble. The general imprint on its chest was immediately activated. Countless silver threads immediately spread out, entering every inch of the golden horned beast's muscles, skin and scales. Immediately a huge amount of energy spread throughout the golden horned beast's body. This shocking energy continued to rise, and rise. 1,000 times Sector Lord strength, 2,000 times. 3,000 times. 4,000 times. 5,000 times. Pain, intense pain, the muscles on its body felt like they were about to tear apart. Whoa! The golden horned beast let out an angry roar. Even with its body strength, it was still unable to fully activate the armor. One must know that the golden horned beast's normal state was comparable to 30 times Sector Lord strength. Howl! The golden horned beast roared, immediately activating the technique Deities of the world. Immediately its scales, muscles, organs and horns all began to transform, constantly compressing and increasing in density. While its body was shrinking, the golden horned beast was also constantly activating the armor. The density of its muscles, bones, scales and horns continued to increase. It could indeed withstand the armor's strength. 6,000 times. 7,000 times. 8,000 times. 9,000 times. 10,000 times. Rumble. The golden horned beast no longer felt any strain. The armor had already been pushed to its limits. At this time, the golden horned beast's body had already shrunk to about 300 kilometers long. One must know that a Sector Lord's peak state was close to 1,000 kilometers long. Deities of the world has expanded by about 3.3 times. The golden horned beast's strength before was already 30 times that of a normal human Sector Lord, a total of 100 times. Luo Feng nodded within, this is probably the lowest level of a normal Undying. Looks like this armor was prepared for an Undying. Shrink. Shrink again. The golden horned beast too let out a roar. Its huge body continued to shrink, its muscles, bones and scales all increased in density. Finally stopping, it had already reached the limit of Deities of the world. Using 2.12 billion points, Deities of the world went from 5 times to 7.5 times now. Easily activating this armor, TSK. 10,000 times Sector Lord strength, this is probably the pinnacle of official level, barely reaching the Emperor level. Over 100 kilometers long, still larger than any mountain range on Earth, a black-clothed Luo Feng appeared beside the golden horned beast. He muttered and commented, along with the first claw, and the Wu Killer Wings teacher gave me tisk. Luo Feng nodded satisfactorily. Even though it was still a distance away from his middle stage goal, even though against his teacher True Yen Emperor, that level of being, he could be instantly destroyed. But at least the current golden horned beast had already reached its short-term goal. Not bad. Luo Feng nodded satisfactorily. The golden horned beast was one of his trump cards. After being taught by his Primal Chaos City teacher before he left, Luo Feng didn't dare be arrogant anymore. His fortuitous encounter with the golden horned beast was only above average, and he only gained 3 billion points. Kudi back then had over 100 billion points, hence he had to be more humble. At least the current him didn't have the ability to kill an official level Undying. After collecting a set of armor, Luo Feng wasn't going to stop here. Right now his earth body couldn't use the armor, but what about in the future? In the future he didn't want to waste time coming here to search for treasures. Years passed. Luo Feng's earth body roamed the Wu Long Starfield, constantly searching for the silver armor pieces. The Golden Horned Beast and Masha clansmen continued to train and improve. In the blink of an eye, Luo Feng had already stayed in the Wu Long Starfield for close to 60 years. He was just 3 months away from 60 years. Haha. Finally, I finally collected the second set of armor. A silver armor floated on Luo Feng's body, his face filled with smiles. These armors get harder and harder to collect later on. The efficiency of collecting got lower and lower as one progressed. 21 years to collect the first set, 39 years to collect the second set. I've collected 2 sets of the armor, I've collected a total of 58 sets. Luo Feng shook his head and smiled. That mysterious fragmented blade, I've collected a total of 9 blades. It's a pity I haven't been able to figure out what they're used for. Even though I can feel them calling out to me, I'm unable to merge them into my body. Dripping my blood is useless, and my spirit imprint is unable to merge into them. Luo Feng shook his head. 9 blades, Luo Feng couldn't understand them at all. At least with the known methods he couldn't subdue these 9 blades. 2 sets of armor, 58 sets of armor. Adding the 2 sets from his first trip to the Wu Long Starfield, he had a total of 60 sets of armor. 60 years with 2 sets of armor, my other trump card, the Bug Clan Army, I've also obtained the Emperor Army. Luo Feng smiled. Internal world. Bug Clan Island. How? A completely dark red, about 26 tall tiger armored bug clan. It seemed extremely thick and barbaric, its eyes filled with savagery. In terms of height, it was shorter than the normal tiger armored bug clan by 4 its body had shrunk by a size. However, whether it was the armor's strength, speed, world energy concentration, they all far exceeded the normal tiger armored bug clan. Emperor. Each tiger beetle king was very expensive to create. If they were created using universe crystals, they would need 2,500 mixed elements. Enough to make a poor normal Undying go bankrupt. Of course this was too extravagant. If I ordered and delivered, I could only get 1 million emperors. However, I personally came to purchase. The 5 in charge wanted to befriend me, allowing me to get double the amount. Luo Feng was delighted. Within 60 years. Alina had created a total of 1.5 million Emperor Army, 200,000 Emperor Hunting Army and 200,000 Emperor Edge Army. The rest of the corpses were used to create normal tiger armored bug clan members. They were still being nurtured. Emperor Army. Luo Feng was very excited. The strong all loved the thrill of leading an army. 1 million Emperor Army, it was indeed very powerful and powerful. Compared to 1 million normal bug clan army, it was tens of times stronger. A combined attack, if hit, even an Emperor Undying would be finished. Of course the chances of getting hit were very low. However, with the Bug Clan Queen commanding, she naturally had many methods. I've come to the Wu Long Starfield, the General Armor and the Emperor Army. These 2 goals have been completed. Everything is settled. It's time to leave the Wu Long Starfield and head to the outer region battlefield. Luo Feng was leaving the Wu Long Starfield. Naturally he was warmly received by Long Ke Emperor, Qi Yun Emperor, Hidden Spear Emperor, Detua Emperor and Xiaoyu Emperor. They specially prepared a sumptuous farewell banquet. From our Wu Long Starfield to the outer region battlefield, the shortest route is to first go to Wu Niao Planet. Long Ke Emperor said, Wu Niao Planet is a logistics base and also a troop transport station. The Universe Warrior Army, many lone warriors who wish to participate in the race wars, can all go there and be sent to the outer region battlefield. Luo Feng nodded. Since he had come to the Wu Long Starfield, the route he chose was naturally from Wu Niao Planet and then to the outer region battlefield. Thank you all for your hospitality. I will be leaving first. Luo Feng smiled and stood up. Be careful. Long Ke Emperor said. The outer region battlefield is very dangerous, be on high alert. Hidden Spear Emperor emphasized. Don't get careless. The 5 Emperor Undyings all reminded him seriously. I will definitely return from the outer region battlefield alive. Luo Feng smiled and left, sitting in a universe ship towards the troop transport station Wu Niao Planet. The 13th chapter had ended, the new chapter was about to begin. Luo Feng was about to begin his journey to the outer region battlefield. There was a place where countless alien races gathered, where the strong were as numerous as the clouds. Mang Niao Planet, one of the 8 large logistics bases of the human territory, it was also the fixed transportation point for the Universe Army. Large amounts of the army were constantly transported from here to the outer region battlefield. Its importance was obvious. We're here. That's Mang Niao Planet. Within the control room of the blood-colored triangular universe ship, Luo Feng was looking at the distant huge planet in space. That was Mang Niao Planet. Mang Niao Planet had a diameter of 1.028 million kilometers. It was a man-made planet, itself a space fortress. Luo Feng, I've received the guidance signal from Mang Niao Planet. On the control screen, Babata shouted, the signal has been connected, just follow his instructions and enter. Luo Feng nodded. So, the Yun Mo Planet ship swiftly flew into Mang Niao Planet. Mang Niao Planet's ship parking platform. Wow, F-grade universe ship, completely made of hybrid copper essence. This ship is at least a few million mixed elements. A man dressed in silver armor exclaimed. At this time, Luo Feng flew out of the Yun Mo Planet ship's cabin door, simultaneously keeping the ship into his world ring. How do you do? I'm a staff member here. The armored man smiled. Within he was shocked. Looking at the mark on his forehead, he's a Sector Lord warrior recognized by the origin laws. A Sector Lord actually being able to operate such an expensive universe ship, he must have some background. Luo Feng glanced at him, the armored man's head was like a jellyfish, translucent. I'm here to apply to enter the outer region battlefield, I wonder which way to go? Luo Feng asked. The universe armies all come in groups, and the lone travelers all follow this path to the gathering point. The armored man pointed to a wide transparent glass path in the distance. This path is over 3,000 kilometers long. At the end, it's the gathering point. Thanks. Luo Feng nodded. Following this path, every step took him over 10 kilometers. After a while he reached the end. It was a beautiful plaza, with over 10,000 people gathered. As the plaza was huge with a diameter of over 100 kilometers. Hence the over 10,000 people here seemed rather sparse. How do you do, please rest here. A hairy and alluring female receptionist walked over and said, when can I go to the outer region battlefield? Luo Feng asked. We need to gather a certain number of people, otherwise the logistics costs will be too high. The female receptionist smiled and said, Realm Master, you came at the right time. The earliest batch like you have been waiting here for 12 days. After all, the gathering of lone travelers wasn't like the armies of the universe countries. When the universe country army arrived, it was grand and majestic. The lone wolves, on the other hand, have to wait for a certain number of people to gather. Luo Feng nodded. He walked to one side. There were many alloy benches in the plaza, and the scattered universe warriors who wanted to join the battle sat around. Luo Feng casually chose one and sat down. Hey, hello. Alone? Two similar-looking werewolf realm lords with mane on their faces walked over. Luo Feng looked up with interest at the two. With one look, he could tell that these two were Sector Lord Pinnacle warriors, and from their eyebrows, they had obviously received the recognition of the origin laws. One had to know that even though there were over 10,000 people in the plaza, most of them were Domain Lord level, only a few were Sector Lords and Universe levels. There were actually fewer Universe levels than Domain Lords, mainly because the Universe levels were weak. Very few Universe level lone wolves would specially come to the outer region battlefield. Just the long flight fees alone, many Universe level warriors probably couldn't bear to part with them. Luo Feng nodded, alone. Rushing alone to Mang Miao planet, it wasn't easy, right? Us two brothers took a universe ship to get here, the journey took a total of 12 years. The slightly sturdy werewolf Sector Lord smiled. Saying that, he and his brother sat on the alloy bench opposite, flipping his hand and picking up a bottle of wine in 3 cups. World energy control. After which he poured the wine and placed the 3 cups before the 3 of them. Thanks. Luo Feng raised his cup. I'm alright, the time spent on interstellar travel isn't as long as 12 years. Oh. The thick and sturdy werewolf Sector Lord laughed loudly. My name is Claris, this is my little brother Buddy. The skinny werewolf Sector Lord beside was rather humble, nodding towards Luo Feng and saying hello. I'm called? Luo Feng muttered, Madman. Madman? The moment the 2 werewolf Sector Lords heard this, they knew it was just a nickname. And this nickname Madman was simply too common, especially in the universe armies. They rarely called each other by their real names, they just called each other by their nicknames. And out of 100 universe soldiers, there would probably be one called Madman. The 2 of them could feel that Luo Feng didn't want to say his real name, naturally they wouldn't force him. Ah look, another Sector Lord has arrived. The sturdy werewolf Sector Lord looked into the distance. Luo Feng too looked, another Sector Lord had indeed arrived. Right now we've already gathered 96 Sector Lords. The skinny werewolf Sector Lord Buddy said seriously, we're leaving soon. Every time we gather 100 Sector Lords, only then do we send the soldiers. Seriously, after 12 years on the interstellar journey, we still have to wait here. After so many years of not killing, my blade has been thirsting for blood. The sturdy werewolf Sector Lord said unhappily. Beside him, Luo Feng spoke casually with the 2, however he didn't reveal any information about himself. Because Luo Feng was very clear, as the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, there were many who wanted to kill him. To be cautious, it was best not to reveal his identity. The number of warriors in the foreign region battlefield were like the clouds. If he revealed his identity early, the danger would increase by 10 to 100 times. Luo Feng waited for a day. The number of Sector Lords gathered in the plaza had reached 100. Universe levels all gather here. Domain Lords gather here. Sector Lord warriors gather here. The gateway opened, over 10,000 lone soldiers were swiftly sorted. Luo Feng too stood up and gathered with the other Sector Lords, and at this time another Sector Lord actually arrived, bringing the total to 101. This caused the other Sector Lords to discuss. The last female Sector Lord was lucky enough. She didn't need to wait here. Various Sector Lord warriors, you are about to head to the most glorious and cruel foreign region battlefield. An Undying that was filled with killing intent, his entire body almost like he was made of metal emphasized. However, you must understand the army has its rules, it won't be as free as before. Luo Feng and the 100 Sector Lords all listened. Before we leave, we need to go through the traditional authority granting ceremony. The Undying emphasized. Authority granting ceremony? What does that mean? What does it do? The group of Sector Lords all communicated and discussed. Obviously these lone travelers didn't know anything about the details of the foreign region battlefield. The Undying obviously knew this. Continuing, the authority granting ceremony, is to confirm your exact position in the army. The army is a place with clear hierarchy, the subordinates have to obey their superiors, hence we have to confirm your position and authority within the army, and how do we confirm it, is through your strength. Don't tell me we have to compete with each other? Test. A sector lord shouted. Wrong. The Undying shook his head. Every single one of you will definitely be training in the Virtual Universe Network. The Virtual Universe Network will judge your strength based on your performance. This ranking is very important to your position in the army. The ranking is split into 3 levels. The first is Ordinary Sector Lord Warrior, the second is Elite Sector Lord Warrior, and the third is Sector Lord Warrior General. A large number of Sector Lords are normal Sector Lord Warriors. To be able to gain the recognition of the origin laws, they can barely be considered Elite Sector Lord Warriors. Out of the 100 Elite Sector Lord Warriors, there can usually be 1 Sector Lord Warrior. The Undying said, I believe every one of you have displayed your strongest strength in the virtual universe. If any of you haven't displayed your strongest strength in the virtual universe, if you're worried that the authority granting ceremony isn't fair, then you can enter the Virtual Universe Network now and display your strongest strength. In a while, the authority granting ceremony will begin. The Undying was silent for 10 seconds, after which he spoke. There shouldn't be any problems, one by one come over and accept the authority granting. The 101 Sector Lords walked over to the Undying. The Undying's arm screen shot out a blue light, enveloping the incoming Sector Lord. Elite Sector Lord Warrior. Normal Sector Lord Warrior. The Undying's arm screen automatically emitted sounds. At the same time, every Sector Lord that accepted the authority also received the information from the Virtual Universe system. The higher the authority, one's position in the army would naturally be different. LuoFeng looked at this scene and was shocked within. There are so many Elite Sector Lord Warriors in theory. Normal Sector Lord Warriors make up the majority of the Sector Lords. Oh, that's right, those who dare to come alone to participate in the outer region battlefields are all confident in themselves. Most of them have gained the recognition of the origin laws. The Sector Lords lined up and accepted the authority granting. Very quickly it was Luo Feng's turn. That blue light enveloped Luo Feng, simultaneously emitting a sound. Sector Lord Warrior. Wah. This scene immediately made the large amounts of Sector Lords around look at Luo Feng. Even the distant domain lords and universe-level authority-granting staff of Meng Niao planet looked over with shock. Among these 101 Sector Lords, there was actually a Sector Lord War General. Not bad. The Undying looked at Luo Feng with shock, praising and nodding. Luo Feng calmly walked to the side. After that, the Sector Lords continued to accept the authority granting. Elite Sector Lord Warrior. Normal Sector Lord Warrior. Sector Lord Warrior. This caused another uproar in the surrounding crowd. This batch of 101 Sector Lords actually had 2 Sector Lord Warriors. Luo Feng looked over too. That was a 3M tall, incomparably muscular young Sector Lord. The light in his eyes was like 2 blades, making others not dare to look straight at him.